Hello and welcome to Mindful Living, where we explore the art of living with the intention, balance, and inner peace. I am Avik, your host, guiding you through conversations on health, meditation, mental well being, mindfulness, and the mind body connection. Each episode features expert insights to help you grow, heal, and thrive. So, take a deep breath, relax, and join us on this journey to a more mindful and fulfilling life. So, let's get started.
Hello and welcome, listeners, to another episode of Mindful Living, the podcast that explores mindfulness, mental health, and the mind body connection to help you live a more empowered and fulfilling life. Today, we are honored to have a very special guest with us, Derick Johnson. Welcome to the show, Derick.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
So, listeners, before we proceed on to the discussion for today, I would love to introduce my guest to all of you. So, Derick Johnson is a U.S. Army veteran, life coach, and trainer who has helped over 500 clients and 50 companies transition from merely surviving to thriving. Awarded Soldier of the Year 3 times, Derick has used his leadership and life experiences, including growing up in a challenging environment of alcoholism and rage, to take control of his mind and body. And now, today, he shares his incredible journey of healing and empowerment with others. So, in today's episode of The Mindful Living, we'll be exploring the themes of mindfulness, overcoming trauma, and reclaiming our personal power with Derick Johnson. So, Derick, welcome to the show again. It's an absolute honor to have you today.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to having a good conversation.
Great, great. Derick, you have experienced both personal and professional challenges throughout your life. So, can you share how mindfulness played a role in your own journey of healing and empowerment?
Yes, definitely. So the ability to pause and really look at the situation that is happening, maybe if it's happening to the individual or if it was happening around. So like in my family, there was a lot of alcoholism, there was a lot of rage. The family, they went through their own things, but they never got the help that they needed. So I was given the blessing of discernment. So I could read my family's patterns to learn, okay, she got this from my grandpa. He got that from his uncle, and you can really see the patterns. And so I just accepted that, you know what, I'm not the problem, me as the kid or me as the teenager. They're going through their own things from their past. So I need to learn how to pretty much tap out, as in not absorb what is happening right now, and be able to be in a calm mind to still have strong faith, but realize that it's not personal. It's hard at first to have that mentality, but when somebody can really accept that some generational curses happen where it doesn't have to involve you, and then work on that mindfulness through a combination of faith, training the body to then have a calmer mind. And so in those stressful situations, we can make a better decision and not take it so personal, and realize that, you know what, experiences like this can make us stronger, can make us better.
Definitely. Definitely. And were there any key tools or practices that helped you take your power back in those difficult, family environment moments or life challenges?
Yes. So when I turned about 16 or 17, I made sure that I told myself I will stop giving people the response that they expect.
Oh,
So if somebody has toxic family or a lot of drama in their family, I would challenge them to see if they can stop giving them the response that they expect. So what I mean by that is maybe person one gets really emotional when family says certain things. Person two gets really angry, mad, and aggressive. Person three, they get really quiet. They kind of don't say anything for 4 or 5 days. So if that is the person's automatic response, the family or whoever it is that is the negative situation, they know what to do and what to say, how to say it to get that reaction out of you. So the challenge would be to not give people the reaction that they expect and stay calm and in control. We're not saying that they are right, but it's more so you can control the outcome when you have the ability and the strength to not give them the response that they expect, where you say, you know what? They expect me to cry. They expect me to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to stay calm and control my reaction.
Wow, that definitely needs a very, very strong, mindset, Derick. So
Yes.
thanks for sharing this. And in your work with clients, what are some of the most common mental or emotional barriers you see that prevent people from healing their traumas and, having regain control over their lives or reclaiming their lives back?
It's very common to see that people, they lack attention on what is most important. And the most important thing is the right now. It's really hard for them to be present in the moment. They're either doing one of two things. They're living in the past and they're thinking of negative situations, mistakes, failures, heartbreak. So they're either living in the past or they live in the future. The scenarios of what if this happens? And what if that happens? And if that happens, then this happens. And it's like the stress of a fabricated fake scenario that's not even real. So people are mainly doing two things. They're living in the past or they're stressed about the future. So I would challenge them to approach it as, what can I do to be here? In psychology, there's a very interesting quote that goes, be where your feet are. Be where your feet are. So it's just reminding ourselves to be right here, right now, and to really absorb whatever's happening right now.
That's really powerful. And how did the discipline and leadership skills you developed in the army help you in overcoming personal traumas and becoming a life coach?
Great question. Honestly, it was when you're in the military, you work with a lot of different individuals, male, female, African Americans, Caucasians, Muslims, Christian, like all different walks of life. And you learn really quickly what the differences, similarities, and you just become a better communicator because you work with such a diverse group of people. And working around a lot of people, yes, it's stressful at first because everybody's different and there's so much pressure and deadlines and all this stuff's going on. But the good thing is that the discipline from the military helps in the civilian world to understand people more. So being around so many different types of people, I had the ability to see their patterns. So it all started with my childhood, teenage years, and reading my family's patterns. Like, why is my mom the way she is? Oh, grandpa did this. And then seeing the same thing in other people, knowing how to approach people differently. So definitely being around various individuals from different ethnicities, religions, and cultures, and just absorbing things like a sponge, because you don't know what you don't know. But if you communicate and actively listen, that can help you a lot. And it's so common for people just to listen to respond instead of listening to actually understand the person. So if they can just listen and really take things in like a sponge and learn, then whatever career they're currently in, if they make a pivot, they can interact with people better later because they're present with the person.
Exactly. Wow. And you have also mentioned that fitness was an escape for you during tough times. So, how do you think physical fitness, help you overcome emotional and mental challenges? And how do you incorporate these concepts into your coaching approach today?
So the number one thing with stress or anxiety is we have to release it, and doing something physical is going to help the most. So sometimes people, they try to work on the mind all the time, and it's not that effective until they move the body. So I always focus on the mind-body connection, because if you go for a walk, if you go running, if you lift weights, if somebody does yoga, Zumba, Pilates, whatever they enjoy, after the workout, they're confident, they're less stressed, and the mind is open. So I always recommend whatever somebody wants to do for their mental, whether that's meditation, prayer, journaling, shadow work, whatever modality or thing they want to do, it is always going to be more effective after a workout, after they move their body. So that plays into the morning routine. I don't tell people what time to wake up, but I recommend that they move the body in the morning so they have more control of the day. So they're proactive. So anything stressful in traffic, via Zoom, Wi-Fi, at work, whatever's happening in their workday, it's not going to throw them off because they woke up early, they worked out, they're calmer, they're not really stressed or in a happy, positive mood. So definitely making sure that we release it. So there's a saying in psychology that goes, if the problem is in the mind, the solution is in the body. And if the problem is in the body, the solution is in the mind. And essentially all it means is we can't think ourselves to a more positive, powerful state. We have to change our state by moving our body, interrupting it. And then after we move, the answer comes to us mentally. And the same thing in reverse. Like if somebody has anxiety and panic right now, if they think about it first, then they can try to figure out what it is. But if they just think about the body, they're going to be like, oh my God, is it my heart? Is it my chest? Is it my lung? And then they'll make it worse. But if they really pause and think and say, why do I feel this way? Okay, I had coffee before I had water and I didn't sleep much. So maybe that person is dehydrated, took coffee, has a high heart rate, but they gave themselves anxiety. So sometimes we do it to ourselves, but it's just the ability to pause and assess the situation. But with the body-mind connections, just knowing that we have to release the endorphins, the natural endorphins, and then we make better decision mentally.
Very relevant. And with your diverse experiences and certifications, what role does mindfulness play in your life today? And how do you integrate mindfulness into your work with clients dealing with trauma or toxic environments?
Great question. So one of the most effective things that I like to focus on with clients and myself is starting off your personal development journey by finding what you could get rid of. So you would ask yourself, what could I get rid of that would help me make more progress? So for some people, it's something that they eat. Maybe he needs to eat less processed foods, less fats, less sugars. That's making him not feel good. Maybe she drinks too much coffee or not enough water or whatever it is. But starting with what we can eliminate first, what we eat, what we drink, then we move forward and we look at, what do we look at on our phone? What music do we listen to? Do we always listen to sad breakup songs and we're always in a sad mood? Like it's good to work out to sometimes. It makes your workout better. But if someone's always playing that when they're working, by the afternoon, they might be wondering like, why am I so sad and stressed today? Nothing. And they just have this sad music in the background. So all about what could we get rid of in the moment that can help us make more progress. And when somebody starts to write these down, they say, okay, you know what? I need to get rid of the sugar. Okay, what else? I need to stop watching the media because it's all negative information and it makes me paranoid. I think the world's about to end and there's going to be World War III and getting that out of their mind. And then they start to go deeper and say, you know what? I need to get rid of a negative self-talk.
Exactly.
Procrastination. And then they start flowing of whatever they feel they need to get rid of. And I'm not saying it disappears in the moment, but at least they're honest with themselves to say, if I could get rid of these 3 or 5 things, I could have my power back and have more control. Because if I try to add to my schedule, add to my routine, do more and work, it's not going to work. So step 1, I always recommend eliminate, and then you feel freer. The last thing of eliminate is go into your closet at home and get rid of clothes you don't need anymore. People hold on to a lot of things like maybe one day I'll wear that jacket or that shirt. Maybe one day I'm going to need this one thing. Will they really? Usually not. But it's more so about energy. So right now, somebody might have an outfit in their closet that they had during a very stressful time period in their life. And every time they see that shirt or those pants or whatever it is, subconsciously, they think of that memory, the funeral, the breakup, the mistakes, the failure, whatever that time period in their life is. And I truly believe that energy attaches itself to things. So for this person, they might just need to eliminate things in their closet and donate it, throw it away, do something, and they will feel freer. So going to mindfulness, I would start it with the approach of what can I eliminate and get rid of that can open up doors for me?
Wow, that's really great, Derek. And as someone who has transitioned from surviving to thriving, what does it mean to truly thrive in life, according to you? And how do you suggest our listeners can begin moving toward that goal today?
Great question. I would say that thriving is the individual is living the life that they actually want and it's fulfilling. So what actually fulfills you? Is it helping kids? Is it helping the elderly? Maybe this person, they've always had a passion to help animals or military veterans or business people, whatever their thing is, if they can pinpoint what excites them and how can they solve problems? Maybe it's in tech. Maybe they're just really good with coding and that's their passion. But if they can find what fulfills them, what skill sets can they possess, learn, or maybe they already have that they can solve people's problems, where they wake up excited to say, you know what, I'm going to help people solve problems. This company, my company, customers, clients, things like that. But also on a personal level is, does what they do fulfill them? Because it's very common for people to work a career. So from the outside, they're like, oh, she makes great money. She has a husband and kids and they just have this nice house and all that. But maybe internally, she's like, I wish I went a different path with my career or my personal, like somebody else wanted this path for me. They said, hey, go this path. This is the right path. And maybe deep down, they're like, I didn't want kids or I didn't want this career. So making sure we're pursuing what we actually want and not what family said was the safe route or the best route. And more so at the end of the day, listening to our conscience. Is this person living what their conscience is trying to guide them to, or did they go an opposite way because of fear? But making sure that we can work on ourselves, overcome the traumas, and realize that whatever pain somebody has now or from the past, there's a gift in that. So I would challenge the person to see what is your gift from your pain and how can you use that gift in your career or as a person. So I believe that my gift was discernment, having the ability to read a room, read a person, really feel their energy, and I can meet them where they're at and slowly build them up. Because I was always the quiet kid looking, making sure I wasn't about to get hit or slapped or whatever's happening at home. So I could read a room really good. And the older I got, I was like, wow, I can read people's energy and they're very comfortable to come up to me and just like open up. And I realized that people that overcame their traumas, they're very calm because they've seen a lot of, whether it's violence, physical, mental, whatever it was, but people can feel their energy because it's not fake. They've been through a lot, they overcame it, and now they're very confident and calm because they've probably seen the worst of the worst already. So now life is easier because they don't have to see that stuff anymore. And so they can now help other people. So going back to the person, what are you passionate about? How can you solve people's problems? Does what you do fulfill you? Identify your gift and how can you use it to help other people?
Wow, that's really encouraging and motivating, Derek. And if our listeners want to connect with you or explore how you are changing others people's lives out there with mindfulness, how they can do that. So
yeah, for sure. So my website for coaching is fitwithderick.com. On my website, I just have a plethora of pictures and videos of clients and their results. Some are fitness, but all the ones with video, it's all mental health, overcame traumas, addictions, things of that nature. So I just love showing real people with real results because the internet can get a little interesting. There's a lot of fake stuff on the internet, so you can't fake the video. So that's why I love just showing people like, hey, here's Michelle. She looks the same in the video like the picture. Maybe you relate to her. But besides that, on social media, it is Fit with Derick 2, the number 2. My whole intent is to make people think and to like plant seeds. Or if somebody's just been hitting snooze 5 times every morning and they cause their own stress, they watch my video and they're like, yeah, he's talking to me in that video. So My whole intent is just to empower people where they're scrolling and they're like, okay, I needed that. So if something helped in the video, I did my part.
Definitely, definitely. Well, we'll mention all the details in show notes for our listeners. And Derick, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your powerful story, your insights and experiences with us, your journey of overcoming trauma and reclaiming personal power. It's truly inspiring for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And listeners, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Mindful Living. To learn more about Derick's work and his journey from surviving to thriving, check out the show notes for links to his website and social media, along with this episode on your favorite podcast platform. And I would like to add that no matter where you are in your life, mindfulness and personal empowerment are always within reach. So keep growing, keep healing, and as always, stay mindful. This is your host, Sana, signing off. Thank you.